Okay, this is an introduction to the World in Flames. We're going to be playing the 1939 Global War scenario. I've got it set up on a game area. It's about 10 foot by 4 foot, so it is a game with a huge footprint. There are ways of reducing the footprint in terms of putting these two main boards, so they're like actually back to back. But if you want to do it properly, you're going to need some serious space. I've also got some other stuff, the production board over there in the separate area. Now, this game does take a long time to set up unless you've played it all before and got it all organised. Now, I had played it before, but somehow I managed to mix the collector's edition counters with the 5th edition counter set that I had, and to make things even worse, I've thrown away some of the collector's editions counters. Not very many, only a handful. But finding the fact that they were missing has been a laborious process, because we had some 5th edition counters in the main set, which I thought should have been there, and I had some collector's edition counters in like this pool of counters, which I thought were just 5th edition. I've had to go through and separate all the counters out and double check where everything is, and the only way to really do it is because the counters are slightly thicker. The collector's edition have got slightly less glossy texture. You have to sort of hand feel them. So I've had to go through about 8,000 counters, hand feeling them to get everything sorted. What I have done though for force pools, I've got all these containers here which separate out most of the force pools. Some of them have got more than one type in each container, and I've also left things like divisions. I've put them all together, even though you're supposed to separate all your divisions into separate force pools. Now, what I'm going to say is I highly recommend that you watch a set of training videos produced by Tabletop's Edge. They are absolutely brilliant, and they've helped me, even though I've played this game, I've had to go through all, I think there's 30 of them to get a refresher course, and I'm still going to have to go back to the rule book a hell of a lot in the first few plays. You see other boards. You may not notice we've got the America board here, which instead of having, I've got the American Flames maps, but they're huge. And I've also got the Africa maps as well, but they take up a huge amount of space. And to be quite honest, the collector's editions maps are much better. The old editions had these hideous mountains. Anybody who knows what I'm talking about will recognise that why I didn't like those. So I don't profess to be an expert on this, or even good at this, and I'm certainly going to be learning how to play this properly as I go through the war. And to a certain extent that was probably true of the fighting powers. Even though the Germans handled themselves really well early in the war, they were as much a set of beginners as the Allies were. The only two nations which have got real combat experience are Japan and China over here, which have been fighting since 1937. Anyway, there we go, and let's get playing.